Have you ever wondered why you remain motionless, even when you know exactly what you should do? How many times have you told yourself, "I'll wait for inspiration," only to watch another day slip by in silence while your goals remain out of reach? The truth is, you're not lacking motivation. What you're missing is something the Stoics understood thousands of years ago: the right mindset and the right discipline. Stoicism doesn't advise us to chase fleeting feelings. It advises us to take control, to act even when we feel no spark of excitement. Marcus Aurelius once said, "In the morning, when you rise unwillingly, let this thought be present: I am rising to the work of a human being." Life changes not because of a single moment of enthusiasm, but because of countless small choices made every day, regardless of laziness, procrastination, or fear of failure. Disciplined action is the first step toward any real achievement. Today, let's explore 10 ways to force yourself to take action every single day, pushing past emotions, procrastination, and even your own doubts. This is the path of the Stoic, and it can be your path too. 1. The power of action. Most of us fall into the same trap. We wait. We wait for a surge of motivation, a lightning bolt of inspiration, a sign from the universe that now is the perfect moment to act. But that moment never comes. Days pass, weeks disappear, the dream grows dusty. The reason? We believe the myth that motivation must come first. We imagine that action is the reward for feeling ready. But that's not how reality works. In truth, motivation follows action. When you start, especially when you start small, momentum builds, confidence rises, and motivation finally wakes up. Action comes first, not second. Think of Thomas Edison standing in his crowded workshop surrounded by failure. He didn't wait for inspiration to strike before inventing the light bulb. He failed over and over, each setback a lesson, not a dead end. Edison's success wasn't fueled by sudden bursts of motivation. It was carved out by relentless, disciplined action. He started, he learned, he adjusted, and eventually he won. If Edison had waited for the right feeling, we might still be living in darkness. His legacy is proof. Greatness is built in the trenches, not in the comfort of inspiration. Stoic philosophy shines a harsh but honest light on this truth. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This is the heart of Stoic action. We don't control when we feel inspired or when life gives us a spark, but we always control our choice to act. The world will always offer excuses, distractions, and delays. Our mind will offer comfort, but comfort never leads to growth. What matters is not how you feel in the moment, but what you choose to do with it. The first step is always the hardest, but the first step is where everything changes. Discipline is a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. When you choose to act, even in small ways, you send a powerful message to yourself: I am in control. I am the kind of person who does, not just dreams. Progress is not built on motivation, it is built on consistency. The path to greatness is paved with imperfect, persistent steps forward. So stop waiting. Stop bargaining with your feelings. The clock is ticking. The world isn't waiting for you to feel ready. Neither are your goals. Even the smallest action can shatter the inertia of inaction. Start now. Embrace discomfort. Accept failure as your teacher, not your enemy. Step into your power. choose action, and let discipline carry you forward. Motivation will follow, but only if you lead the way. 2. Overcoming fear and doubt. Fear, doubt. Two shadows that creep into your mind every time you think about taking action. You feel them most when you're on the edge of something new, an idea, a project, a dream you can't shake. You tell yourself you might fail, that you might not be good enough. That's how fear works. It whispers lies in the dark, convincing you that inaction is safer than trying. But here's the truth. The vast majority of your fears are nothing but stories you tell yourself. They are ghosts, born from imagination, not reality. Think about it. How many dreams have died, not because of real obstacles, but because of the fear of what might go wrong? How many times have you let self-doubt hold the pen and write the story of your life? Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic emperor, said, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment. Your fear is not a fact, it's your perception. And that perception is under your control. Let's make it real." Edwin C. Barnes was not born with connections or wealth. He didn't have a golden ticket to success. All he had was an obsession, a burning desire to work with Thomas Edison. Most people in his shoes would have hesitated, paralyzed by the fear of rejection or ridicule. But Barnes forced himself to take action. He boarded a freight train, showed up at Edison's office, and declared his dream out loud. It wasn't talent or luck that set him apart. It was the courage to move, to act, to step into the unknown while fear screamed at him to turn back. That single decision changed his life forever. So what about you? When fear rises, don't let it decide the limits of your life. Start small. Break your goal into pieces so tiny that fear can't reach them. Take one step, then another. Each tiny action, each deliberate move chips away at doubt until what once seemed like a wall becomes a door you can walk through. Progress is built on these small victories, not on some magical absence of fear. Remember, action is the antidote to fear. Each time you act, you weaken the hold of doubt. The world doesn't reward intentions, it rewards those who move. The choice is always yours. Stay imprisoned by your fears or step forward no matter how small the step. That is how you conquer the ghosts. That is how you become unstoppable. 3. Killing procrastination. Procrastination is a silent thief. It doesn't storm your gates or make loud threats. Instead, it whispers, "Later, tomorrow, just 5 more minutes," and suddenly you're stuck at the starting line, watching life sprint ahead without you. The Stoics knew this enemy well. Marcus Aurelius warned that wasting time is, in fact, wasting your very life. Every moment spent waiting for the perfect mood or just the right time is a moment surrendered to inertia. But what if you could break the cycle right now? The truth is, motivation is rarely waiting for you on the couch. Action must come first. The simplest way to destroy procrastination is to shrink your task until it's impossible to resist. That's where the 5-minute rule comes in. Tell yourself, "I'll just do this for 5 minutes." Set a timer. Commit just for 5 minutes. It sounds trivial, but here's the secret. Once you start, momentum kicks in. Your brain catches the spark, and suddenly, what felt impossible begins to flow. The 5-minute rule is more than a hack. It's a Stoic strategy for defeating the mind's excuses. Seneca wrote, "While we waste our time hesitating and postponing, life is slipping away." Every 5 minutes you spend doing, not doubting, is another stone laid on the road to progress. With each small act of defiance against procrastination, you rewire your brain. You teach yourself that action, not hesitation, is your default mode. The victory isn't in grand gestures, it's in the habit you build every single day, showing up, taking one step, then another. Progress doesn't care how you feel. Procrastination thrives on waiting, on overthinking, on the illusion that you need permission to begin, but you don't. You simply need to start. When you act, even for 5 minutes, you plant the seed of discipline. You prove to yourself that you are not ruled by comfort or fear, but by choice. Remember, the cost of procrastination isn't just lost time, it's lost potential, lost growth, lost opportunities. Take back control, one small action at a time. Destroy procrastination, and you free yourself to move forward, no matter how slow the pace. But what happens after you've taken the first step? How do you transform a moment of courage into a lifetime of consistent progress? The answer lies in building self-discipline, the backbone of every Stoic achievement. Get ready to unlock the next level, making discipline your strongest ally. 4. Building self-discipline. Self-discipline is often misunderstood. Too many see it as a harsh, punishing force, a daily battle of willpower and denial. But in truth, discipline is not suffering. Discipline is training. It is the art of doing what is right, even when every fiber of your being screams for comfort and escape. This is the lesson the Stoics carved into the fabric of their lives, a lesson that echoes through time. No great thing is created suddenly. Epictetus spoke these words not as a warning, but as a promise. Progress does not burst forth in a flash of passion. It is shaped quietly and patiently by steady hands and a stubborn heart. Leonardo da Vinci, the genius behind the Mona Lisa, the helicopter, and the anatomy sketches that changed how we see the human body. Do you think he was always bursting with excitement, always inspired? Absolutely not. There were days when his hands trembled with doubt, when blank canvases and unfinished inventions stared back at him in silence. Yet he moved forward. Leonardo forced himself to work, to pick up his brush, to tinker with new ideas, even when motivation was nowhere to be found. He filled notebook after notebook, not because every day was easy, but because he understood a simple truth. Discipline creates greatness, not fleeting inspiration. Leonardo didn't wait for the perfect mood to strike. He showed up day after day, hour after hour, sometimes making a single brushstroke or a quick sketch, but always moving forward. His legacy wasn't built in moments of passion, but in the relentless return to his craft, no matter how he felt. That's how breakthroughs happen. That's how progress is made. Discipline is not a burden, it's the secret weapon. Leonardo's story proves action, consistent, determined, sometimes stubborn action, is what builds genius. This is the Stoic way. It is not about suppressing your feelings or pretending life is easy. It is about stepping up again and again until the act of showing up becomes your second nature. Discipline, in the Stoic sense, is freedom. When you train yourself to act regardless of mood, you free yourself from the prison of fleeting emotions. you begin to trust yourself little by little. That trust is not built by grand gestures or one-off efforts, but by small daily commitments. Wake up 5 minutes earlier, write one paragraph, take a cold shower. Each small victory whispers to your mind, I can rely on myself. And that is where real power begins. Discipline, then, is not the enemy of joy, but its quiet architect. It gives you proof every single day that you are in control of your destiny. As the Stoics remind us, we cannot always choose our feelings, but we can always choose our actions. In that choice, made over and over, is where greatness is quietly forged. 5. Turning pain into motivation. Pain. Everyone faces it. No life unfolds without its share of failure, heartbreak, or disappointment. Yet what separates the stagnant from the unstoppable is not how much pain they endure, but what they do with it. This is where Stoicism shines its unyielding light, teaching us that pain is never just suffering. It is the furnace where strength is forged. When life hurts, the Stoic asks, what can I build with this pain? Consider J.K. Rowling's journey. Before the world knew Harry Potter, Rowling was an unemployed single mother struggling to make ends meet. She sent her manuscript to 12 different publishers, and each one rejected her. The pain of repeated failure could have crushed her spirit, but Rowling refused to surrender. Instead, she turned every no into fuel, each rejection into a lesson in perseverance. With every setback, she became more determined, refining her story and her sense of purpose. Her pain didn't defeat her, it shaped her into someone unstoppable. Eventually, one publisher said yes, and her world changed forever. Rowling's story is living proof. When you embrace your pain, you can transform it into the very force that drives you forward. But Stoicism demands more than stories of others. It asks you to confront your own suffering. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, once wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." These words cut straight to the core of what it means to turn pain into motivation. Obstacles are not barriers, they are invitations. Each hardship is a teacher, revealing something essential about who you are and who you might become. So, the next time you're hurt, lost, or exhausted, pause. Don't numb the pain. Don't run. Instead, ask yourself, what am I supposed to learn right now? How can I use this to grow stronger, to become more resilient, to master myself? This shift transforms suffering into power. Pain is no longer an enemy. It becomes your ally, a force that pushes you forward, not one that holds you back. Real progress demands this mindset. Action is not born from comfort, but from discomfort harnessed and repurposed. Your greatest moments of strength will not rise from days of ease, but from nights of adversity. Remember, you have the power to turn your pain into motivation. Use it. Step forward. Make the obstacle the path. That is the way of the Stoic, and it can be your way too. 6. Set clear goals. So many people drift through life, working hard yet feeling strangely lost, exhausted, frustrated, burned out. Why? Because they don't know exactly what they're working toward. A vague hope like, I want to be successful, isn't a goal. It's a wish, a moving target, always out of reach. Without clarity, your mind becomes a battlefield of distractions. Your energy scatters, and when setbacks hit, it's all too easy to give up, because you never had a clear finish line in the first place. This is why you need to set clear goals. Precision turns confusion into focus. I want to increase my sales by 20% in 3 months. Now that's a target. It's concrete. It's measurable. And when you give your brain this kind of clarity, something powerful happens. You stop drifting and start driving. You know exactly where your energy belongs, and every small win becomes fuel to keep you moving forward. The Stoics knew this truth. Seneca wrote, "If one does not know to which port one is sailing, no wind is favorable." Think about that. You can hustle all day, but if you haven't chosen your port, your destination, no amount of hard work will get you where you want to go. This is why the discipline of setting clear written goals isn't just a business tactic, it's a Stoic virtue. It's how you transform your scattered ambition into focused action and how you give your daily grind a deeper meaning. But clarity isn't just about the end result. Break your goal down, write it out, make it visible. Then ask yourself, what needs to happen this month, this week, today? Your goal becomes real the moment you commit it to paper, split it into daily actions, and track your progress. Don't wait for motivation. Let the satisfaction of progress push you forward. Celebrate every small victory, no matter how tiny. Each checkmark is proof. You're moving, you're growing, you're closing the gap between where you are and who you want to be. Now, before we take this momentum to the next level, I just want to say thank you for sticking with me through half this journey. Your presence here, your likes, your comments, they really help push this content out to others. And together, we're making a bigger difference than you think. Maybe you're thinking of clicking away right now, but trust me, that would be a huge mistake. What's coming up next? Even more powerful. You'll want to stick around because we're just getting to the best part. These next tips are true game changers, secrets that might just shift your entire life's direction. So hang tight, we're about to level up. 7. Develop a mindset that doesn't give up. To force yourself to take action every day, you need more than discipline. You need a mindset that refuses to surrender. This isn't just about stubbornness, it's about seeing every setback, every struggle, as the soil where your future growth takes root. The Stoics taught that true strength lies not in avoiding hardship, but in transforming adversity into fuel for progress. When you face obstacles, you are not meeting the end of your journey. You are meeting your teacher. Ask yourself, how many dreams have you abandoned at the first sign of trouble? How often have you told yourself, "I'm not good enough," and quietly stepped back into the shadows? The truth is, greatness is never born in comfort. It's shaped in the fire of failure, the ache of rejection, the sting of defeat. This is the moment when most people quit. But what if instead of giving up, you choose to see each failure as a lesson? What if, instead of shrinking from difficulty, you stepped forward and declared, "This is my training ground"? Look at Michael Jordan, one of the greatest legends in sports history. Most people only see the championships, the highlights, the iconic dunks. But rewind to his high school years. Jordan didn't even make the varsity team. The coach looked at him and said, "Not good enough." For most of us, that would feel like the end of the road, an excuse to quit. But not for Jordan. He didn't sit and sulk. He used that rejection as fuel. Every early morning, every late-night practice, he pushed harder. He turned pain into power, disappointment into discipline. Jordan wasn't just born with greatness. He built it, one brick at a time. He made a choice. Let failure define him, or use it to forge something stronger. He chose action. He chose to outwork everyone else. That setback became his launch pad. It taught him the true meaning of resilience, to keep moving, to keep grinding, even when everything in you wants to stop. Michael Jordan's story isn't just about talent or natural ability. It's proof that greatness belongs to those who refuse to let failure have the final say. The door closed, but he kicked it open again and again until no one could ignore his drive. So how do you build this kind of mindset? Feed your mind with stories of perseverance, read books that set your soul on fire, and surround yourself with people who refuse to let you settle for less. Every day, remind yourself, every challenge is an opportunity. Let this phrase echo in your mind when you feel like quitting. Discipline your thoughts as fiercely as you discipline your actions. When fear whispers, turn back, answer with resolve, I move forward. This is not easy. You will have days when self-doubt creeps in and progress feels impossible. But remember, discipline is a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it grows. Every obstacle overcome, every failure endured, forges your spirit. The clock is always ticking. The choice is always yours. Will you see problems as walls or as doors? Develop a mindset that doesn't give up, and you'll find yourself moving inch by inch from defeat to mastery. 8. Choose a positive environment. Have you ever wondered why your habits seem to echo the energy of those around you? The truth is, environment isn't just a backdrop to your life. It's the invisible hand shaping your mindset, your actions, and ultimately your destiny. Every day, without even realizing it, you absorb the attitudes, beliefs, and energy of the people you spend time with. If you surround yourself with cynics, your dreams will slowly wither under the weight of their doubts. But if you build your life among the disciplined, the driven, the hopeful, you'll catch their fire. This isn't wishful thinking. It's reality. Look at any team of athletes and you'll see a simple truth in action. Progress is contagious. When you train with people who refuse to skip a workout, you learn to push through your own excuses. Their discipline rubs off on you. Their relentless pursuit of growth pulls you forward, even on the days when motivation feels miles away. It's the same in every field, art, business, and learning. The environment you choose is either an anchor holding you back or a launchpad catapulting you to your goals. Stoicism teaches us that while we can't control every circumstance, we can always choose where we plant ourselves. Will you allow yourself to be surrounded by mediocrity, by negativity, by those who see only obstacles? Or will you seek out mentors, friends, and communities that demand more from themselves and from you? The difference is everything. One drains your energy, the other ignites it. Take an honest look at your circle. Who inspires you to be better? Who challenges you to rise, to act, to break free from comfort? If your environment doesn't nourish your growth, have the courage to change it. Find a mentor who embodies the discipline you want. Build friendships with people who are committed to their goals. Don't be afraid to step back from those who drag you into old habits, or those who make you doubt your own power. You are the sum of your influences. Action is easier. Discipline is natural. Progress is inevitable when you choose an environment that feeds your strength instead of your fears. Don't wait for your surroundings to change on their own. Choose your tribe. Create your environment. This is how you force yourself to act, not just today, but every day. Now, I want to hear from you. Who in your life pushes you forward and who holds you back? How will you choose your environment from today on? Let's talk in the comments below. 9. Master your time. Time is the only resource that can never be reclaimed. 24 hours. That's all any of us get in a day, no matter who we are, where we come from, or what dreams we hold. The difference between mediocrity and greatness, between regret and fulfillment, lies not in having more hours, but in how we command each one. If you want to conquer procrastination, if you truly wish to force yourself into action, you must first master your time. Look at the life of Benjamin Franklin, a name we remember, not because he was born into privilege or extraordinary genius, but because he mastered the art of disciplined action. Franklin grew up in a crowded family with little money and few advantages. Yet, he made a decision that changed everything. He refused to let his time slip away. Franklin meticulously divided his days into clear, purposeful segments, dedicating each hour to something that mattered. He lived by two simple questions. Every morning he would challenge himself. What good shall I do this day? Every evening he demanded accountability. What good have I done today? This wasn't just a routine. It was a mindset, a relentless commitment to progress, one day at a time. Franklin's self-discipline became his engine. He didn't wait for inspiration. He built momentum through action, using time as a tool, not a trap. That's how a runaway teenager with empty pockets transformed himself into a scientist, inventor, statesman, and writer, whose impact shapes the world even now. Franklin proved that greatness doesn't require a head start, just the will to act, the discipline to persist, and the courage to hold yourself accountable every single day. The lesson is clear. Time, left unguarded, slips away silently. Distraction is everywhere. Your phone buzzes, messages pop up, and the world tries to steal your focus at every turn. But the Stoics remind us, you act like mortals in all that you fear, and like immortals in all that you desire. Too many people waste their days as if they have an infinite supply. But you, if you wish to live well, must treat every moment as sacred. Start by owning your mornings. Don't stumble into your day reacting to the world. Plan your most important work the night before, so you wake up with purpose, not confusion. Put your biggest challenge first, before distractions creep in. Say no to the trivial, the unimportant, the endless noise that fills your hours but leaves your goals empty. Remember, every no to distraction is a yes to your progress. Mastering your time is not about squeezing more into your schedule. It's about making room for what truly matters. It is the discipline to focus on the essential, to protect your minutes as if they were gold. When you do this, you will see how small actions, repeated daily, become the foundation of extraordinary results. Don't let your days slip through your fingers. The clock is always ticking. Choose action, choose discipline, master your time, and you will master your life. 10. Accept failure as feedback. Failure. For most, it's a word soaked in shame, disappointment, and self-doubt. But for those who understand the truth of growth, especially those who walk the Stoic path, failure is not the end. It is not a full stop. It is feedback. It is information. Every setback you encounter is life holding up a mirror, forcing you to examine, to learn, to recalibrate. What if, instead of running from failure, you leaned into it? What if you saw each stumble as a teacher, each misstep as an invitation to become stronger, sharper, more resilient? Look at the world's most remarkable achievements. Behind every victory there are scars, moments when giving up seemed easier. But winners don't let failure write their story. Walt Disney's journey is a testament to the power of embracing failure as feedback. Early in his career, he was fired from a newspaper job because his editor claimed he lacked imagination and had no good ideas. His first animation studio collapsed, pushing him to the brink of financial ruin. Most people would have given up, but Disney saw every setback as a lesson, not a verdict. He used rejection and bankruptcy as fuel to refine his vision, sharpen his skills, and push harder. Out of those failures, he built a new company with even bolder ideas. In time, his relentless creativity and resilience gave birth to Mickey Mouse and an entire world of magic, proving that failure is never the end, only a new beginning. The Stoics knew this power. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Failure is not a wall, but a doorway. When you hit a barrier, you don't turn back. You ask, what can I do differently? How can I adapt?" Every time life knocks you down, the real defeat is not falling, it's refusing to get up. But if you stand, if you choose to see failure as feedback, you transform every setback into fuel for your next attempt. After every mistake, you have a choice. Will you bury your ambition, or will you ask the hard questions? Will you let fear dictate your future, or will you treat failure as the ultimate mentor? Take a page from those who came before you. Steve Jobs was ousted from the very company he built. He could have let bitterness destroy him. Instead, he used his exile as a forge, returning wiser, more relentless, more creative, and the world remembers his comeback, not his departure. So the next time you fail, don't ask, "Why me?" Ask, "What is this trying to teach me?" Take notes. Adjust your approach. Accept failure, embrace feedback, and move again. This is the Stoic way: action, reflection, growth. You are not your failures. You are what you do next. Looking back on this journey, you'll see the real key to success isn't waiting for motivation to strike. It's taking disciplined, consistent action every day, no matter how you feel, no matter the fear, no matter how many times you stumble. Stoicism reminds us that you only truly master your life when you control your actions, your mindset, your environment, and your time. You don't need to become perfect overnight, but you can be better than yesterday with just one simple choice. Take action right now. Don't wait another moment. Stand up, take the first step, and prove to yourself that you deserve a better version of yourself every single day. Success doesn't wait for anyone, and youth won't last forever. Have you ever faced procrastination or felt resistance to starting? How did you overcome it, or are you still battling it every day? Share your story, your thoughts, or your own strategies in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you and connect with your journey. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss another motivational video. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you in the next episode.